podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
All right, here with Dan. Going to talk about the World Cup. It's been pretty good. We're through a round and a half or something of all the games, recording on the Sunday. So it's with all the controversy and stuff, which I don't think should leave our minds, especially with some of the stuff that's been going on during the World Cup. We'll get to, but the football's been pretty good generally, except for England, who stink the place out.
Bro, I'm depressed to tell you all is the last quadruple game day.
Yes, that's right.
And It has just that extra game, getting 4 instead of 3, just really does give you the opportunity to gorge yourself and I mean the time zone in the UK it's just unbelievable. Perfect. It's literally just that bit of the day where you're not doing anything that you want to be doing. Yeah. It's just been absolutely full of football.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's not so awesome for me, but I've been catching up on stuff. So two games are good to watch, and then the 2 early ones I have to go catch up on. Yeah,
just the lack of there's no working hour. I mean, where there's not football, and there's just something that it doesn't even have to be football. Although World Cup football is pretty good, but just any kind of watchable sport during the working day is just so nourishing and elevating.
Yeah. And what have you made of the kind of tournament and the quality so far? Because I think it's been pretty high generally, and a few surprises, which is good, although it might not be good for the knockout rounds, I guess.
You don't want the 2002 situation where the knockouts are really exciting, but they're exciting because good teams are getting beat and there's no one left at the end. And
that's right.
Those games weren't good, the knockout games there. I think that the standard of games has probably been helped by the fact that it's a mid-season World Cup, because although we're missing some players who should be there, the players aren't exhausted. So they're able to play high-energy football in a way that you're less likely to see and get in a June-July World Cup in the Northern Hemisphere summer. I know it's still hot in Qatar, but if you factor in the heat of America or wherever, or Southern Europe or wherever, and the end of a season, you can see why we get the kind of games that we get. And also,
I mean, the style of football it's very different. They've evolved. Club football and international football have kind of evolved on different paths in some way. It's like there's teams that stand out are the ones that do something a bit weird. So Ecuador have a high press. Almost no one else in the tournament
and Saudi
has a high press. They're all sat in the mid block, like football from the 90s or something. And then the other one's Canada, who are on as we're recording this, who chuck 5 players forward at every break and then pay for it going backwards. But they look completely different to everyone else as well. So they're both fun for different reasons.
And it also was probably helpful again is that there's no travelling. So you play a game and then you get ready for the next game. And I remember Wales were complaining during the Euros, and I'm sure with good reason. They have their last group game or something was in Azerbaijan, something like
exactly,
that.
Right, exactly. 6-hour flight. Yeah,
yeah. Whereas now the players, all they've got to do is train and play. Yeah, and that's probably helpful. And it actually made me think we should probably have a London World Cup at some point.
Yeah, it's more like an Olympics, isn't it? I mean, I remember Olympics in 2012 in London. And you could run from the swimming to Wembley to watch the football. That was probably the furthest you had to travel. But swimming to boxing to athletics was super easy. And it's more like this. I know those people are out there, or especially the journalists who are out there, are managing to catch sometimes 3 games a day live because it's not so bad. Although Hansi Flick in the German press conference yesterday, he went on his own, which is a big no-no for FIFA, along with the wearing rainbow armbands and stuff like that. You're not allowed to do that. And he said it was because it was a 3-hour drive, and I think everyone was like, "You're what?" It's like 10 kilometers away. But yeah, I think you're right. Although it's hot, they're playing a lot of games at night, and Croatia have scored the 3rd as I'm talking.
You're in front of me.
Am I in front of you? There you go. Sorry, I've ruined it for you.
Oh.
Nice goal as well. Good control and strike with the left foot. Anyway, yeah. So although it's hot, there's not a lot of travelling. The training facilities are great. Everyone's reasonably fresh because of the part of the season it's in. The mix-ups between the different styles of play have been pretty good so far. There haven't been a whole bunch of stinkers. I mean, England-USA was probably the worst of the tournament.
The first
so
game
far.
was dreadful as well, but there have been some 0-0 draws as well. Like, we could do with a few more goals, I would say. But I covered for The Guardian, I did Uruguay and South Korea, which was 0-0. But it wasn't.
That wasn't a bad
bored.
game. Yeah.
No, I wasn't bored, and I did another 0-0 draw that also wasn't bad. Did I say Uruguay and South Korea?
Yeah,
I did, didn't I? I did. I can't even remember now. This is old age at its worst, but I did. Yeah, I did another game. There was also 0-0. That also wasn't bad.
Good. Great insight there, Dan. I mean, I think that 4 games a day. It's hard to recall all the details, isn't it? So
yeah, unfortunately, it is for me.
Yeah, I mean, some standout ones have been obviously Spain,
Morocco, Croatia.
Morocco, Croatia. Yeah, right. Okay, that was
which also wasn't bad. I enjoyed Morocco.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly enjoyed the making Thibaut Courtois look silly today. That was very good.
He definitely played Zenny in the school play.
That's right. So, I mean, Spain, I don't know whether we talked about that one last time. Yeah, I think we did briefly, didn't we, at the end of last week's the weekend pod. But, I mean, obviously, a standout result there against Costa Rica, and a weird thing with them not playing any strikers but scoring 7 goals. And then Costa Rica coming back to beat Japan today, who beat Germany, which
was sort of disappointing, that one, in the sense that there's not as much jeopardy tonight. If Japan win that game, then Japan are almost through. And then if Germany don't beat Spain,
they're out.
Then they can't get more points than Japan would have had.
Yeah,
they might have done the latter stages a favour, but that game now is basically, if Germany smash Costa Rica, that'll probably be enough, even if they lose to Spain.
Well, yeah, probably, yes. And which the dynamics of the group always make a difference in tournament football, don't they, to how people approach it. I mean, I think certainly although I was somewhat frustrated with the England performance against the USA, as frustrated as I can get watching England rather than United, the dynamics of the group there means that a draw was a very good result. I mean, it takes something silly. England have to lose 4-0 to Wales to go out, basically.
That would be incredible.
It would be
Wales
incredible.
Are funny because we've sort of been encouraged in the UK to think that they're not rubbish. And, I mean, I was a bit surprised they lost to Iran. Yeah. But I was not. I thought they would lose to USA because they're not good.
No, they're not good, and their best players are old now. So
yeah, and it was very evident. And I mean, Robert Page picked a really silly team in the first game against where he didn't pick Kiefer Moore and just went into a game with no outball whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right.
They just couldn't get up the pitch. But someone pointed out to me that I think they had no Premier League players, Wales, who didn't play for a promoted side.
Okay.
Which I guess gives you some notion of the quality that they have, which is not high. Although I was a little bit surprised that you wouldn't go for someone like Brennan Johnson if you've got someone who's fast and confident available to you.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a better option than Harrance Wilson.
Well, that's the thing. If you're not a technical side, and Wales are not a technical side, you want physical, don't you? You want people moving fast. You want to play in a low block and break, or you want someone up front who's the big guy, like Kiefer Moore is.
Well, that's what
actually playing well and scoring goals.
We tried to do it with 3 fast players, but it just is. It doesn't work with that without proper technical ability. Because there's no outball. You can't get the ball forward and then go from there. But I mean, he said, Robert Page, that he just likes to show loyalty to players. And I understand that, but at some level, you also just have to pick the players that are good. And one of the things about this World Cup is players that are in form, because it is coming in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So, and you can see in some of the games that the players like Valverde was just by far the best player on the pitch in Uruguay and South Korea.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he's just a class player. I'm one of the best players on that pitch anyway. But you can see him playing with real authority because he's been doing that for Real Madrid last week.
Yeah, well, that's right. And he's got 12 goals this season or something like that. A real step forward in his career. Well, since we're on Group B in England and Wales, USA and Iran. What do you make of England? I mean, it was just so... I mean, I don't, is negative the right word? It was just so cautious against a team that is like championship quality, basically. And I think Southgate in his head gets mixed up with what is attacking and what is defensive, like systems and styles. And although they had nominally a 4-3-3 in this game, it wasn't an attacking style of play. They didn't throw players ahead of the ball. It's still very one-dimensional. All the substitutions were man for man. Basically, he didn't do anything to change the game, which was like you're pulling your hair out watching it, going.
And it just took so long as well for him to do it.
So long, yeah. And he was clearly shocked by the 4-4-2 that USA played, right? But he didn't do anything to address it at all.
It's at this point, what is Jordan Henderson going to do?
I just unbelievable.
It was very hard to see what the changes were going to alter the balance. And I understand why he likes Mason Mount, because Mason Mount's a good player. He's been good for him before. He's tactically intelligent and disciplined.
Yeah. And he's a trigger for the press, and that's important.
When he brought Grealish on, Grealish to me is someone you want against the team sitting back, playing in a low block.
Exactly, because he breaks the line just through running past players, and he gets free kicks, which England are good at.
Yeah, but he wasn't. USA weren't playing like that. And ultimately, that Pep Guardiola thinks that Phil Foden is a lot better than Jack Grealish.
Yep.
There's a chance he knows those players better than Southgate does, and he knows more about football than Southgate does. And I get why he's a bit reticent to play Foden in the middle, because he hasn't got much form in being good in that position. But to take off Sterling and bring on Grealish and Rashford it just didn't seem to make any sense when it was
the Henderson one that was the worst one. I mean, so England's biggest problem is progressing the ball through midfield, right? So USA had the two up front. They were forcing England to play into the fullbacks. They couldn't get it into midfield, and the only player who does that is Bellingham, who wasn't having a good game basically, and not getting on the ball enough. And so I think that England's biggest problem was, one, they need an extra man in either at centre-back or in midfield in order to create the overloads. Yeah, he could have done with 12 players. Yeah, that always helps. I find, yeah. It's like in the playground, you, then you, there's one extra, right? That would have helped. But yeah, the frustration, and look, clearly Gareth Southgate is a much, much better coach than me. He knows infinitely more about football than I do. He's been a top-level player, decent-level player, and a coach for a long time. He clearly knows more than I do. But there's stuff I'm looking at the TV going, he's not seen it. Why is he not doing anything about this? And maybe that's coming from a point of my naivety or something, but it just seems so obvious.
Yeah, like Henderson's team was a very curious change.
I mean, he's here as a mascot, isn't he, Henderson? I mean, he's barely played in months.
Good in the dressing room. And and even the ostentatious giving of instructions at the moment when he actually came on for Bellingham was just, it really sort of encapsulated what you feel that he feels his job is here, is to give like really earnestly administered high fives. Like, I think it was actually the low 10, sorry, George. But like it was that. It was like, you're getting affirmation from me, Judith. Yep. And this is something that you should really take to heart. And look at me performing this in exhibition manner on television for the world to see. I am a leader of men. Like, it really stunk of that kind of behaviour.
And he runs funny as well, so, we're not going to forget his gait, are we?
No. The unforgettable gait.
Anyway, so that's Group B. Group A, I mean, Netherlands, I'm kind of disappointed with them because they're supposed to be good, right? This is Louis said we could win the World Cup, and this is the Netherlands, right? Pass, long ball, loser ball.
But we've
and
seen,
it's like over and over and over again.
He's one of those people, Van Gaal, where it's just so obvious the progression of football has passed him by.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not that good, Netherlands. They have some individuals, although I think it's always worth pointing out that usually it's very rare that the best team in the group stages wins.
True. And they may grow into this. And Gakpo has put 10 or 20 million on his fee, hasn't he, with a couple of great headed goal and
it sort of seems like
finish.
Eka was right.
Yeah,
he knew that he was good.
Yeah, apparently. And I it's just the I'm looking at and I'm having like flashbacks to when United played like that as well. Side, get frustrated, boot it long, lose the ball. And it just happened over and over again. I mean, they should be fine.
And the inability to, on the rare occasions you do get an early goal, then build on that. I mean, it didn't happen very often. But it's also the ability to put teams on the rack and keep them there and sustain the attacks. And
also, the other shocking thing about Netherlands, Daley Blind's hair, it's not good anymore. He used to have the most beautiful locks, and now it's thinning. It's a shocking exhibition of time passing us all by. Anyway, Group C,
I bet Jurriën Timber's pleased he stayed at Ajax. For,
yeah, that's right.
For all these rectal splinters he's getting.
And the Tyrell Malacia as well, not playing at left back. Yeah, sad for him. Anyway, Gakpo is definitely moving for large amounts of money at some point, isn't he? Argentina,
I think we just
Saudi
go back
Arabia,
to
Mexico,
Gakpo.
Poland.
Just to go back to Gakpo, I guess talking with a United slant, I think he's not a left winger for us. Because it's point we can't be signing another left winger.
No, we don't need another left winger.
The question is for United is whether he can be a centre forward.
Yeah. And that's unclear to me. I mean, he's basically played at 10 in this behind Memphis. We might, given that we need a centre forward, we might be better signing Memphis, to be honest.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh, that would be depressing.
To play at 9, I should be clear, if we want a cheap one. I watched Argentina-Mexico yesterday. That was kind of fun. I mean, I find myself, it's a weird position, kind of like rooting for Messi to do well, just as a fuck you, Cristiano sort of thing. I can just imagine in the Ronaldo household as Messi lifts a trophy, which I don't see. There's too many weaknesses in this Argentina side. But
no, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I was surprised that. I mean, I wasn't surprised that they picked Romero ahead of Martinez in the first game because I know the manager loves Romero. But the difference between those two players is Romero's really, really talented. But it's rashness.
Yeah,
Martinez isn't rash, and Romero is
rash.
No,
that's right. Yeah, and he plays like a grown-up, even though he's aggressive. Yeah,
he's aggressive without being a moron, and Romero is aggressive and plays also like a moron. And if he grows out of it, he'll be a hell of a player, and maybe he could go on to be an even better player than Martinez. But if I had a choice between one of those two, I would chuck Otamendi into the skip and play both of them, I guess.
Well, quite. I mean, Otamendi's how old now? And I think Romero's a better player.
Yeah.
The weird one was for Argentina, the Paredes was out and they played Rodriguez in the middle. He just can't move the ball. And as soon as Enzo Fernandez came on, it just completely changed how Argentina play. They got the ball forward. Obviously, he's got a blinding goal, which helps.
He's meant to be he's meant to be brilliant. There was a really good line about him that said something like they think he's lying about his age. Because he's just so precocious in the way that he plays.
Because he's barely played any football in his career. I mean, he's had 6 months at Benfica and he didn't have much before that at, where is it, River, I think. So, yeah, he's 21 and he's like brand new to football. But, yeah, he's obviously playing like a grown-up and is really talented and just blinding goal. Blinding goal by Messi, by the way, as well. I guess we just it just feels like normal for him, doesn't it? But there was about 3 inches in which he could get that ball into the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it will, with a team like Argentina and also probably with Uruguay, like teams that play 2 in midfield are particularly vulnerable to just getting hypnotized by Spain.
Yeah.
But because they do have just a load of firepower. So, I mean, it's impossible to say who's going to win this. I mean, I felt like at the beginning of the competition, Brazil probably were the most settled side. But I thought that last time, actually. And they didn't win it. I just felt like they were the most club-like international side because they've been playing together for the longest and seemed to have a method of playing that suited them. But yeah, France are also looking quite good, but still get the feeling that if Mbappe doesn't have a great day, then they'll lose to the first good team they play.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, Dembele was electric, wasn't he, against Denmark? He was just so good. This is the Dembele of Dortmund or something like that. So,
the first game he played for Dortmund was against United in pre-season.
Right.
For Rennes. And when he just signed from Rennes, and I watched that game and I was just absolutely certain he was going to be a superstar. He just looked so good, and it's taken him a while to get there. But
it's injuries, isn't it? So
he's got injuries, probably a bit of focus, I think, as well. But now it's also just nice to see sometimes a right winger playing on the right wing, a right-footed player playing on the right wing, keeping the width, able to put crosses in, which he doesn't always do, but he's been doing that for Barcelona, playing on his natural side, and you don't get to see that often. But yeah, I mean, he's electric when everything is in working order.
I mean, he may be right-footed, but he's pretty natural on the left as well. So I mean, it just makes him a really dangerous player, inside, outside, scores goals, creates them. I mean, I can't help but feel that Deschamps, right, and he's a football vandal, and when it comes down to the big games at the end of the tournament, if there's a choice between playing an extra central midfielder and playing Dembele, I know which one Deschamps is going to pick, because France are much more attacking than we've seen before.
Rabiot's been playing quite well. Been playing well for Juventus, I think, before. It's another Eka was right. Maybe he was right after all. Rabiot is one of those players who, the first few times I saw him play, I thought this guy's really, really can play. He got lost. But maybe he's now becoming the player that he looked like he might be able to become to begin with.
Yeah, but he wanted like 400 grand a week to move to.
No, I'm pleased we didn't sign him. But
we'd be signing him and his mum, wouldn't we? And we don't need the drama.
But he's looking better than I've seen him look for quite some time.
Yeah, and in the rest of this group, obviously Australia are pretty rubbish, but they got that win, and there were Australian fans like going mad with flares in Melbourne, which was like, yeah, if you haven't seen this video, it's kind of fun and then scary because the pyrotechnics are going pretty wild. I didn't know Australian fans could get excited about football in that way. Then Denmark been pretty disappointing, actually, honestly, and Eriksen's been anonymous for them. I'm not quite. I think we thought they'd be better than this, but
yeah, it's nice that Varane's back.
Yeah. And he was good and fit, and obviously that muscle injury wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it was, which is good for him. And yeah, gives them a lot of composure.
Yeah,
and
he won't. I'm sure he won't get injured on Boxing Day, but maybe 2 or 3 games after that, he'll be out until about March.
You can imagine, right? France somehow go out in the semis. He's fit and ready for Burnley in the EFL Cup. Pulls a hammy, he's out. Out for months. What have you made? I'm going to skip forward. What have you made of Brazil? Because they do, like as you said, they feel complete as a team, don't they? I lost Neymar for a couple of games now.
I was in the process of complaining to someone about Richarlison being up front in that team when he scored that goal.
When he does a scissor.
Yeah, which was obviously like an amazing, iconic World Cup moment that shouldn't have happened in Qatar. I also didn't know, but have now learned that Richarlison is he's someone I quite like as a bloke. Like the way he competes, loved the way he celebrated with his parents when he scored that goal for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Just that someone who's waited their whole life for that moment and their parents are there. I found that quite moving.
Yeah.
But it turns out he's also an extremely solid citizen who is
he seems to be
anti-Bolsonaro. In favour of luxuries like universal education and food and homes and things.
I know. I had to dig into that one a little bit deeper because when someone says that, sometimes they turn out to be a nutter as well, and they think the answer of that to solving all those problems is like kicking immigrants out or something like that, or banning the gays or whatever Bolsonaro's nutty policies were. Thankfully, past tense. But no, he seems to be solid. I wonder how that goes down in the dressing room with Neymar, because there are opposite sides of that political fence.
It's almost all of them, apart from apparently Anthony as well, is not like that.
Right.
Which is also good to see, because one of the things which pissed me off was that the most left-wing support in world football, Liverpool, are perfectly happy with affable Alisson and Fabinho.
Yeah.
And, I mean, those lads voted for an actual fascist, misogynist, homophobe, racist, anti-Semite.
Yep.
And growing a kitschy moustache doesn't change that.
No, that's very true. And we forget that we've got to be on the right side of these things as well as footballers. I say we, not being a footballer. But
we're a football lads. Listen to us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not clear what Casemiro's politics are.
I haven't heard him or looked into him opining on it, nor Fred, actually. Fred, who didn't play in the first Brazil game, surprisingly, they picked a West Ham player. Came on, yeah. And Casemiro was all right in that one. Serbia, whose tactics appeared to be kick Neymar.
I think that's just a hobby, more than a tactic.
They fouled him 9 times, and then Neymar got injured, and it wasn't a foul. which was somewhat ironic, I thought. Yeah,
but yeah, Brazil.
Sad for Neymar. I don't know whether to hate or like Neymar because he's obviously a brilliant footballer, but everything goes around him is really shitty, and the rolling around and histrionics and all that kind of stuff is just like nauseating mostly.
Yeah, but he is a brilliant player. I thought Casemiro played well in that game. It seems so easy for him.
I mean, it is. He's able to. I mean, the Casemiro we saw, after a couple of months of being at United, where it was easy for him and he was totally in tune with the game, and he just seems a step ahead of everyone else. And obviously he's with high quality players all around him in the Brazil side. So, I think they probably look like. Along with France, the most complete side. Spain. We'll see in the knockout stages whether not having a forward who scores regularly actually matters.
It has mattered before, but France just don't have as much in the way of a midfield as Spain do.
Well, no, have to. The two in there have to be in there, don't they? Right. So
France against Spain, I would say you're basically waiting to see if Mbappe does anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll be Spain with the ball and they'll win by 1 goal. That would be my expectation.
It's not a bad tactic. Wait to see if Mbappe does something,
that's often been England's thing, is that they're not able to dominate possession or dominate the flow of play, which looked like it had changed against Iran. But it's at some point some of the quality players will combine to produce some level of quality.
Yeah,
it's that they still don't have that. They've since Michael Carrick, who never got picked, they haven't had that register
in midfield. Yeah, and there isn't anyone who's got in the squad can do that. I think England definitely better in midfield if Bellingham's in there, because he can move the ball forward. They just become a bit more vertical.
Yeah, maybe what you do is if England, when they get to the knockouts, instead of choosing Bellingham or Mount, you choose Bellingham and Calvin Phillips. Maybe that's what you would do.
They definitely move the ball, but then they don't have the cover in the same way. Rice does a good job at that. We can't leave talking about the World Cup without talking about Portugal. I thought Ronaldo absolutely stunk the place out, was completely rubbish, dived for a penalty. It's all about him as usual.
It wasn't so much whether he dived. It wasn't a penalty. I was doing the minute by minute of that. And I was looking at my fingers. I'm not a great typist, so I was looking at my fingers, at the screen with the game on, and at the other screen where my words were coming up, and I could still see on first look that wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
And just every angle they look at it from, it's just not a penalty. And they're going on telly that, Ronaldo got the ball first. It's like, fine, but that doesn't matter if the defender gets it second and makes a proper tackle.
Yeah.
That was not a penalty. And I agree with Rugby. I thought that I backed Portugal. I put a few quid on Portugal to win the Euros. But Fernando Santos just was very clear in the Euros, had no idea how to arrange the players, who to pick and how to arrange them to get the best out of them. He's clearly got no interest whatsoever in leaving Ronaldo out. But watching that game, in that aspect, it was like watching United.
Yeah, they'd be much better without him. They've got Rafael Leao, who's electric.
So, you play him on one wing, Felix in the middle.
Yep.
And then someone else on the other flank.
Well, Bernardo Silva, and they've got a nice balanced forward line there. And they've got plenty of midfield. And as soon as Bruno started the game out wide, and as soon as they moved him inside, he created 2 goals.
Yeah, minutes. So the other thing is you could look at the midfield and you could say, if you have Bruno and Bernardo in the midfield and one holder, then you play maybe another midfield player on the right wing, then you're starting to have a team that can dominate possession as well. Yeah, there's a really good team in that Portugal squad, and it didn't look a lot like Fernando Santos was going to find it, but perhaps he'll play Rafael Leao in the next game.
Yeah, Diego Dallo didn't play in that game, although he's played quite a few of the warm-up games, so we'll see. I guess he's not first choice. The other United player that we haven't mentioned so far was Pellistri, who started for Uruguay. He's played more games for Uruguay this season than he has for United. Surely he's going to leave at some point. He can't just sit around doing nothing. So he's had a couple of seasons at Alaves sort of playing.
Not done that much there either. But...
And not done that much there and 0 minutes this season. So it's no good for him. But he's a favourite of the Uruguay coach whose name I'm forgetting right now. So, yeah.
It's not Oscar Tabarez.
No.
The name that sprung to my mind. But I mean, I watched that Uruguay game, and he did one little nice cushioned cross for a chance, but they didn't actually give him a lot of the ball. And Uruguay actually have a similar problem to Portugal, in that they're solid at the back. They've got a couple of proper midfield players, and then they've got an old bloke up front who no one wants to drop. And you can see the difference. I mean, I know Cavani's the same age as Suarez, and I don't his peak wasn't a patch on Suarez's, but he's aged better, and it made a difference.
True. Suarez it was dynamic, and he's just not that at all anymore. I mean, it might even be better with playing Nunes through the middle.
Oh yeah, I thought Uruguay were going to play 4-4-2. And if they had have done, then you probably would have got more out of Suarez as well, because he'd have Nunes
someone to play off. Yeah,
but Suarez in the middle of a 4-3-3 with Nunes on the left wing is just total nonsense. And
we'll see whether they change it up for. I guess they're playing Ghana next. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, if there's a positive result, if Ghana beat South Korea, then that Ghana-Uruguay game at the end could be good. Just being a knockout.
I'd really like to see Ghana go through. I mean, not only for it's a World Cup, you need some world representation in the knockout stages, don't you?
Ghana have got the makings of a good team. The problem with Ghana is that they're not settled.
Yeah,
they're not all used to playing with each other. And the manager made some absolutely atrocious changes in that Portugal game. They equalise and he takes off and Kudus,
who's one of their better players, their
best player by far, and is in great form.
You're right.
And within about 3 minutes of taking them off, they're 3-1 down.
Shame, because they played some good football.
If Inaki Williams hadn't slipped, we'd be talking about one of the great World Cup goals.
That's right. Good player as well, Inaki Williams. So a few of the stories around the World Cup. Obviously, we talked about Armband Gate last time out, didn't we? I mean, a couple of nice moments amid all the crap and the politics and Infantino sitting next to MBS and, exactly what's happening there. A few of the stories, the Germans starting their game with hands over the mouth protest, being silenced. I mean, it was something. It's less than a shirt. England said they weren't gonna just do a t-shirt. They were going to do more than a t-shirt.
It's not. It's saying we care about this. Armband. We care. This is marginally more important than not getting the yellow card.
Yeah, I know. I don't know which way to decide to come down on that, because I understand they don't want the captains getting booked. The Germans said they would just rotate it around, and one of the takes I think was that it might not actually the sanction. FIFA weren't clear about the sanction. It wasn't. It could be a booking. It could actually be points or suspensions.
But then you just got to find another way. Don't just say no. Say, okay, this isn't going to work, so let's do something that is.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, whatever scene you can create, do it. Whether it's the players, you score a goal and you do something when you celebrate, or the captain is your third choice goalkeeper.
Yeah.
When you bring him on at the end of a dead game, whatever it is, there's something that could have been done that wasn't nothing.
Well, that's right. And they have done nothing, most of them. And the hand over the mouth was, it made more of a stink because Germany lost, and the German media appears to be blaming that for their defeat, which was properly weird as well. And then England did absolutely nothing. And if you talk about bravery, the Iranians refusing to sing the national anthem while Iranian fans in the stands are waving a pre-revolutionary flag around, both of which pretty seditious acts, I think, that was much more. Carlos Queiroz has been quite defensive about it all and got more worked up about Klinsmann basically being a racist on TV than any
I missed that. What did he say?
Well, so Jurgen was like, it's in their culture to dive.
Oh, okay. So I literally messaged a friend saying, I think I just heard Klinsmann and can't remember who else I was on basically say Iran are cheating Arabs. That was what it felt like. That's
pretty much what he said, And then Queiroz is right to call him out on that.
Yeah, he was. I was sort of doing something else at the time, so I didn't quite hear it properly. So I remember I messaged someone saying, I think this is just what happened. And I'm not pleased that was what happened, but I am. Oh, so I did hear what I thought I heard, and it was like that.
Yeah,
I didn't realise Queiroz had done
whatever her name is, didn't call him out at the time, and which they never do in the studio. But it was like listening to analysis from 30 years ago. Just cultural-based nonsense about football.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the first Cameroon-Switzerland game. Someone was calling Cameroon the Africans.
Oh, Christ
which, first
almighty.
of all, must make AFCON a difficult one.
Yes, right. It's the Africans versus the Africans. It's the naive athletes versus the naive athletes.
It's just like 54 countries in Africa, mate. And it goes from North Africa to South Africa.
Yeah,
there's
it's quite a long way.
And there's quite a lot in between.
Yeah, about a billion people.
And it's very, very strange behaviour. And I guess someone would have told Quirrell that he said that, because I assume he wasn't watching ITV.
No, I assume someone's pointed it out, but it was a long post on Instagram and Twitter in which he invited Klinsmann to come to their training camp and speak to the players and learn about the culture, and which I think is all totally fair. And clearly, I don't think
I was barbecuing in my garden
Yeah.
when the second goal went in, and there's some Iranian shops on the high street that is sort of a 10-minute walk away, and I could hear them celebrating. Right, and I was like, "Yeah, London." Just made me think, London is a great place.
It doesn't matter who wins. If you're in London, there'll be someone with a flag out of a car beeping a horn going down one of the streets. Yeah. So it's one of the things, having moved to the States, one of the things I miss, the atmosphere around tournaments. It just isn't that here. I mean, I watched USA versus England in a brewery, because you can't take kids to bars, but you can to breweries. Make of that what you want. It's pretty weird, and there wasn't much of an atmosphere, honestly, even though it was packed out. There was more of an atmosphere at the one of the English pubs I watched Argentina versus Mexico in, because there was quite a few Mexicans came to, but the whole kind of tournament atmosphere is missing. Because I'm sure in London, like, every match is on in every pub and it's all buzzing, and because that's what you get.
I mean, it's not quite like that because it's when it is. It's not
right, because it's during the day.
Because it's during, and it's also just it's not the summer, so there's not people hanging out outside in quite the same way, and the Christmas rush hasn't quite started. But I think as the tournament progresses, it'll be more like that, particularly if England stay in it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see on England. I mean, should not going to lose 4-0 to Wales. I think that it's probably okay for the knockouts. And then England get second place in France-Denmark's group. I'm saying France-Denmark, but it could, of course, be Australia. So I don't think it'll be France. Australia are going to have to win by 6 for France to come second. So I think England will be playing Denmark or Australia, probably, in the second round. And then I can't remember who. No, I'm lying, actually. They might be playing second place in Group A. I think they're playing second place in Group A, which looks like it'll be Ecuador.
And is it not France in the quarters? That's what I thought.
And France, Denmark in the quarters, yeah. That track, yeah. So, so that looks like England out in the quarterfinals, probably. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope it's a bit more of a progressive performance from England.
Yeah, you have to play good teams if you want, if you're going to win it. But yeah, they did manage to get to the semi-final without doing that last time, and get to more or less the finals of the Euros without playing anyone who was really good.
I mean, that's the thing with Southgate. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm totally negative on him, but I am pretty much. Like,
who's the best team in the tournament?
Who have we beaten? Who have England beaten in a tournament over those? That's good. And beat Germany, but it was a pretty rubbish German side last year. Pretty rubbish German side this year, by the looks of it. And what, Sweden? Is Sweden the best team England have beaten in those two tournaments? Because managed to lose twice to Belgium and to Croatia.
I guess they beat Germany, but Germany weren't really any good. But if you're knockout ties in the Euros, what was it? Was it Ukraine, Sweden and Denmark?
Ecuador. Was it Ecuador in
2018? No, in the Euros. 2018. In
the Euros.
Colombia, they played. Beat Colombia on penalties.
Yeah, can't remember who they beat.
Sweden in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Croatia.
Yeah. So pretty much nobody.
Well, that's it. It's always when people talk about Maguire or whatever, it's just who's the best centre forward he's played against for England? Who is it? And I mean, I thought he played well against USA.
He did.
But international football suits him really well.
Yep.
Because it happens at half pace.
Oh, that's right.
And I mean,
there's no high pressing, and it's much slower, and it does suit him well.
Because I think one of the things I've noticed about Maguire now that we've got Martinez is not just the running slowly. Maguire's a good passer, but he does it slowly.
He does it slowly, yeah.
And
And USA did a very good job of blocking off the passing lanes into midfield, so he couldn't get it into Bellingham or Rice. He had to go out to Luke Shaw all the time, and it was very one-dimensional because he hasn't got anything else. So, yeah, it was in it. Anyway, Harry Maguire for England and the Queen or something. That's about it. For backers, we're going to chat about Eric Cantona because it's 30 years since he joined. He joined on the 26th of November, 30 bloody years ago, which doesn't half make me feel old.
Goodness.
Half of you listening won't have been born.
Please.